You are live. Hey, everybody. Hey, we're live. We're live in the challenge. Here I am. I am in my spot. In my spot at the house. My new spot because I got a new backdrop. My new, backdrop, my new set. Um, but I'm here, and you know what I'm gonna do. My name is Bess Parks. I am the co-founder and co-creator of Single Moms Level Up. I like to say hashtag Single Moms Level Up and the Single Moms Club. And I want to thank you guys for watching live. If you're in the Single Moms Club, thank you for watching live, watching the replays. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, which is Single Moms Level Up, thank you for watching live or for watching the replays. I want to thank y'all. I want to thank y'all. So, what I do is I actually go to Facebook because I know that it does a test, for telling me that that there's volume and stuff, but I don't know. It's just me, I guess. I'm gonna move this over here so I don't have to look up. There we go. Yeah, so I don't have to look up. I can just look over instead of up. Um, but yeah, I just like to know, and also so I can see your comments. Because if I don't turn this on and you don't allow StreamYard to show me your comments, then I have to look over to another device to see your comments. Mind you, StreamYard does not do, it's not going to spam you. It's not going to do anything. It's just for me so that I could see your comments on my screen that's right here in front of me instead of having to look over there. So that's what that's all about. So today is day three of the 5 day Single Moms Fear to Freedom Challenge. So we've already covered 2 days, but if you have missed it, don't worry about it. We have replays available. It's in the Single Moms Club. You can go under guides and you can find the replays, or you can scroll through the discussion area and find it and watch the replays. I believe it's going to take you to the guide anyway. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, then the replays are there. I'm not ever going to take those down. They're just there. But if you want to be a winner for the Single Mom Queen Kit that I showed you yesterday, which is the giveaway, and I just noticed I got a hair flying around over here. But if you want to be eligible to win a Single Mom's Queen Kit, you do have to be a member of the Single Moms Queen Club. So if you want to do that and you're on YouTube, all you have to do is to go to Facebook and search the Single Moms Club. And it's going to pop up. It will have the challenge logo over here. This will be on the page. You'll see that. It'll be part of the cover page, and it will say the Single Moms Club. And all you have to do is request to join. So what it's going to do is it's going to ask you 3 questions, and we would like for you to answer those questions honestly. So why do I ask those questions? It's so that we can help, and it will help us to serve you better. So this whole community is all about that, serving single moms. It's all about, hey, Rebecca, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, Tony. It's all about, for us to, encourage and help each other, because we may be going through some similar things, and we may be going through some similar things, and it helps to talk it out sometimes, because a lot of times when you talk it out, you can get answers. So I had a situation happen over the weekend, and I had someone to talk it out, and she happens to be, she's going to be a single mom. And we talked it out, and we came up with an answer, came up with a solution, because we talked it out together. So a lot of times it really helps to have someone to talk things out with. So here's Rebecca. She said, hey. I said, hey. Hey, Rebecca, thank you for watching live and for being a part of the Single Moms Club. I appreciate that. So let's get into what the subject is for today. So the subject for today is, or the topic for today is, what is appearing. So what we're doing is we're breaking down fear. What is it? Day one, we broke down the F in fear. Day two, we talked about the E in fear. You know, the evidence. Where's the evidence? That's what we talked about yesterday. And today we are going to talk about what is appearing. So when you're having that moment of fear, what's appearing in your mind? What's appearing in your vision? What are you seeing? What are you watching? What are you listening to? All of that contributes to that fear factor, that fear that comes up into your mind, that fear that sometimes paralyzes you. That happens from all of those things, from what you're listening to, what you're thinking about, and what you see. So a lot of times, if you're feeling a lot of fear, you may want to check. And this is just from my experience. You may want to check what you're listening to, what you're thinking about, and what you're watching, because those things a lot of times will throw you off and cause fear. It will cause anxiety. It will cause, you to feel uncomfortable, and cause fear. It will cause fear. And so, the saying that has been said for quite some time now, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard it. And that saying, I'm trying to get that glare out of my glasses. That saying is, fear is false evidence appearing real. And I've come to find out that that is a very true statement, at least in my life. And me, when I look back and think about the times when I was fearful, a lot of it was false. A lot of it was made up in my mind. And a lot of it was just what I was listening to and watching. And it was making me fearful because of the situations going on in my life and whatever I was hearing and watching, or what people were just saying to me, was accounting to my fear. So I had to create some boundaries. We talked about boundaries briefly yesterday, and I had to create some boundaries for some people and some boundaries for myself, for what I'm watching, what I'm listening to, and what I'm thinking about. So ultimately, the only person that we can control is ourselves. We can't control anybody else. They're going to make their own decisions. And I want to say unfortunately, but the reality is your kids are going to make their own decisions. They're going to make their own decisions. Yes, we've raised them to be a certain way and to make decisions wisely, but they're children and they don't have the experiences that we have. So a lot of times they make decisions without all the correct information, or getting the correct information in order to make informed decisions. So, but everybody makes decisions and they have to face the consequences for whatever those decisions are, whether it's something that's going to cause harm to you, or it's something that's going to make you struggle, or it's something that's going to make you be successful. We have to make those decisions, and then be willing to accept whatever the consequences that go with it. Consequences are not a bad thing. And a lot of times it comes off as, oh, well, you got to face the consequences. It's not a bad thing, because consequences can either be for you or against you. That consequences could grow you, could teach you. Mistakes are teaching tools. They're not a bad thing. Um, and resources are what they are. The resources, in the school system, they teach you not to use your resources. Your phone, your all of that during a test or whatever. But in life, the test, you should use your resources. School doesn't teach you that. That's in the workplace. I don't know. I can't even say that's in the workplace that you do that, because I use my resources. Whatever is available to me, I'm going to use that to do whatever it is that I'm doing well. And do it to the best of my abilities. Not saying I'm perfect, but that's for me. That helps me to do things better when I use the resources that are available to me. So the appearing part is also a main thing that you can tell if there's fear in you is that you stop taking care of yourself. You stop taking care of yourself. You start reaching for things to pacify whatever that feeling of fear is. You start um, saying things that are based from fear. You start thinking things that are fearful, and mind you, like I said before, there is a fear that is dangerous. That's danger. Run away. That you need to. It's life threatening. I'm not talking about life threatening fears. Um, those are real, and those you need to protect yourself. But there are a whole lot of other fears that come to us and that come in our lives that are really false. It's coming from a false thought, a false something you heard, a false statement somebody said about you or to you, something that you saw on TV that is fictional, but it comes off as kind of sort of true, and then you start overthinking it, and you start thinking and focusing on it, and then it becomes a fear within you as well. Because as we think, that's what we do. Our actions and our thoughts are connected to what we think about situations, about people, about about things. That all comes from our thoughts. It all comes from our thoughts, and a lot of our thoughts come from what we listen to, what we see, and what we say. You know, um, that saying that sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's a flat out lie. It's a flat out lie, because most people, and it's come out over, I don't know, the past decade, maybe 2 decades, that words hurt. Words hurt, and words are more detrimental, um, or as detrimental as physical harm. The words that come out of somebody's mouth, if you constantly hear something, and if you're at an age where you're younger and you're not able to decipher that this isn't true about you, you will believe it, and you'll carry it for a long period of time if you never address it through self-care, self love, or some kind self education, and learning about yourself and who you are, and who you are, and what your own identity is, which doesn't come from any person. You know, um, your identity doesn't come from any person. Someone shouldn't be able to make you happy, make you sad, because if so, then you've now given somebody a power in order to in order you've given somebody a power to control you, to control your emotions, to be able to push your buttons. And a lot of times you got to figure out, why is this person able to push my buttons? you know um, Sometimes I have to say, in the past, for me, I found that people that push my buttons is either something from my past that was a hurt habit or hang up that I never addressed or never realized was a hurt habit or hang up. My glasses are sliding because I'm sweating. My nose is sweating. But whether it's something that's in the past that was a hurt habit or hang up, that happened, or was said, or was heard, or all of that, or that you saw, will affect how you respond to it in the future, with future relationships, when that situation may possibly come up again, or something similar comes up, and then you respond out of that past fear, or that past false evidence that's appearing real. So some of the fears that I used to have, which I don't know if you'll actually believe this is true, but one of the fears I used to have was talking in front of people, was talking in public, was I used to be afraid that I would misspeak, or say the wrong thing, and then I wouldn't be able to defend myself. Um, Things of that sort. I was afraid of that. I was afraid of expressing my own opinion, And I was that way for a long time. And then the way that the way that I started thinking things, which is leveling it up, is all about changing your perspective, changing how you see and think about things. And so I leveled up into a different level, a way of thinking, a higher level of thinking, and realized that I don't have to be that way. Um, for me, it actually took my sister passing away suddenly, and then my mom passing away 2 days or 2 years later, and that was my security blanket. That was my hey Jenna, thank you for watching live. But that was my security blanket. That was my safety net, was my mom and my sister, because my mom was also a single mom. So um so when they were gone, I had to stand on my own 2 feet. I had to start talking. I had to start using my voice. And uh, so I did. But I know that at one point in my life, my voice and my words were very hurtful, mean, and just mean and hurtful. And I didn't know how to say things in love. I would just say, even though it may have been true, I would say it in ways that would hurt people's feelings. Um, I would hurt people's feelings. I would, make people cry. It was a horrible way of being, and all of that was because of an anger that I had inside, and fear that I wouldn't be able to get out what I had to say. So I would say it very fast and quick, and sometimes that cut people, you know, with my words. So the fear that we're talking about today is the one that's appearing. What is appearing in your life? And a lot of times you could see it in your body. You either feel it, you can physically see it in your skin or somewhere on your body. You can you have headaches, or you can't sleep. You can feel that in your body. So that comes down to self-love and self-care. So if that has been omitted from your life, then something might be going on. Something, you might be afraid of something happening. A lot of times that comes from fear, um, and it's a reaction to fear. And you we need to figure out what that is. Some people can journal and figure out what that is, and that I've been one of those people that I can journal stuff out, and then I go back and reread some of my journal entries, and go back to the beginning of my journal and reread whatever my goals, my courses of action, and and the benefits in the 5 areas of my life. I'll go back and do that. So every journal that I start out with, I start out with that addressing the 5 areas in my life and setting goals, courses of actions, and writing down what the benefits are when I reach those goals. What would the benefits be for me reaching those goals? And so I focus on that. It helps me to to refocus and kind of align, and it's almost like a comfort for me that, okay, you know what, I'm off wandering somewhere, and need to get back on track with reaching these goals, so that I can um, uh, move forward, prosper, move towards something that is improving myself, improving my kids, helpful to my kids, helpful to me. And self care and self love is one of those things. So I told you briefly about a counselor friend of mine that I know, who is a licensed relationship coach, and she had told me, she had came on, and I had her as a guest, and she broke down the difference between self-love and self-care. So I'm going to say that real briefly, since I have time to do that, because there is a fear that is interfering when we don't do self-love and self-care. So my self-love is all the stuff that's on the inside of us. It's our mind, it's our ears, it's our mouths, it's our hearts, it's our souls. That all of that is self-love. You need to pay attention to it. It's our emotions. That's self-love. Emotions are a reaction to if these areas, your mind, your heart, your ears, your soul, if those things are okay, your emotions are a result of if they're okay or if they're not okay. It's an alarm if your emotions are if they're down, or if they're in depression, or they're anything of that sort. If they're fearful or whatever, if there's fear coming in, fear is an emotion. And so if that's what's going on, then maybe something's going on in your body, and maybe you need to check that and do some self-care and just slow down and relax and do some self-love and check in on yourself. Ask yourself if you're okay. You don't have to say it out loud, but ask yourself, in your inner self, and just ask, hey, am I okay? Am I fearful? And then try to figure out, why am I feeling that way? What's happening that I'm feeling that way, and break it down. you know and then when you break it down, then you can find a solution or resolution to whatever is going on. So the other one is self-love. So self-care. Self-love and self-care. So self-care is everything you do on the outside. That's the manicures, the pedicures, the facials, the full body massages. Getting your hair done is self-care. um, all of that is self-care. Getting getting your yearly checks, your yearly checkups, your body, your women visits, women wellness visits, your eyes, getting all of that checked, getting your teeth cleaned and all that. That's all a part of that. So for a long time, and I know you guys have seen it, but for a long time, I am a child of the 70s. And I grew up in the 70s. That was my childhood, was the 70s. And so back then, dentistry was not all the best, and they weren't doing some things that they do now. And so I had a total of 6 cavities. And I have a total of 6 cavities, and I think I was 6 or 7 years old, and I was devastated. I was so devastated that I had 6 cavities, because I was like, I brushed my teeth. I don't know why I got cavities. I don't know if you remember that commercial about Yuck Mouth, the Schoolhouse Rock things. They call me Yuck Mouth because I don't brush, and I like my mouth like this, something like that. But anyway, so I remember that. So I was brushing my teeth and everything. I didn't brush twice a day. Well, no, I was brushing twice a day, but not 3 times a day. So anyway, I had a dentist, and that dentist told me I had 6 cavities. He filled the cavities, but back then in the 70s, they weren't digging deep enough to fill it properly. So, needless to say, all 6 of those teeth that he did um, uh, ended up having cavities under the fillings, and some of them, like the teeth next to it, kind of hollowed out, and then just like cracked and did all kinds of things. But needless to say, I have that. So that was one of my teeth that recently cracked. That was a couple years ago. It cracked, and I didn't have the insurance to take care of it. So I told him, just take it out, and I'll have to get like an implant or whatever they do for that. But I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't taking care of myself, and because of a fear that I had, fear of the dentist, because in the 70s and all the way up until recently, they had that big silver shot that was like, I mean, that alone was devastating to me, to have that go into my gums and feel it. And it was terrible. And I was afraid of that shot. So I was afraid of the shot. So I avoided the dentist. And because I avoided the dentist, I've got gaps in my teeth. I've got implants. I've got partials. I've got missing teeth. So if we don't take care of the fears in our lives, this is what we're going to have. And then we'll have to replace those with replacements. And in life, replacements don't always benefit you. But you'll have to replace those fears with something that's positive, and replace your fears with a focus on goals and courses of actions, what you're going to do to reach those goals, and do that. Have a direction. Focus on a plan to move to something or onto something better, to reach for something higher, to provide for our kids, to provide for ourselves, and to also make sure that we're showing our children the best of ourselves and being present when we're with them, or we're with our friends, or we're with our family. We want to do that. So the first thing we have to do is to take care of ourselves through self-love and self-care, and do both of those. Now that's hard when we have kids, because we want to focus solely on them. But when we don't focus on ourselves through self-care and self-love, we're teaching our kids to do the same thing. So when we're walking around stressed and tired and all that stuff because we won't go to sleep on time, we like, for me, what used to go through my head was, I'm grown. I'm gonna stay up and watch TV and this, that, whatever. And so I'd stay up and binge watch stuff, and have to watch this show and have to watch that show and this, that, whatever. And then I would wake up in the morning. Of course, I'm the first one up, and I would wake up early in the morning and be tired. And then I got to go through a whole day and get even more tired. Then I have to come home and cook dinner, and then I'm even more tired. And then I go back to have nerve to go back and start watching stuff all over again. But I'm doing it to myself, and I'm exhausting myself. And when we're exhausted or we're tired, we don't make good decisions. We don't make good decisions. As a matter of fact, things just always seem chaotic, and they seem chaotic because we're not in a space where we've taken care of ourselves and done self-care and self-love on a regular basis. And the regular basis is this, and this is from a counselor, a licensed counselor, that weekly we should be checking in on ourselves to make sure we're okay, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And then, through self care, we should be doing something to take care of ourselves on a weekly basis. Doesn't mean you have to go to the dentist every week, because that's nonsense. But things like, taking care of your face, taking care of your skin, stop and breathe. That's one of the main things, is because the majority of the time, most of us walk around and we are holding our breath. We're breathing, obviously, because we're still awake, but we're not. It's like we're not capable of taking a deep breath without it hurting. Without it feeling like an elephant is on your chest. So if you can't take a deep breath without feeling that tension right here, or a little in your chest, we might need to do a little bit better with our self care and our self love. So that's something that we should do. Take some deep breaths. Take 10 deep breaths. Go take a walk. Um, get into a new routine of, make sure that you're taking care of yourself once a week. You could, but don't undermine, starting small, or starting with once a year, because that's where I was. I went from when I was single to where I was doing self care all the time. When I was single and I didn't have kids and everything, I was doing self care all the time on a regular basis. It was probably more like every 2 weeks that I was doing something. But then I just kind of lost myself and my children and totally forgot to do it, and wasn't taking care of myself. And I was tired all the time, and I wasn't fully there for my kids. And I wasn't fully present, and there were very far and few between places that I did that. And then I also didn't ask for help. I did ask somebody, hey, could you watch my kids for a couple hours? I need to take some time for myself to, get myself together, to go, um, meditate, to go to get a massage, to go get a pedicure, to go get whatever. I didn't do that, and of course, some of these things that cost money, but I've gone back to doing my own pedicures. So I have one of those foot baths that massages and bubbles and stuff, and I put some hot water and some you know uh, uh, bath crystals in there and stuff. Um, Stuff that you put in a bathtub, I put it in my foot bath as well. And I've got a whole foot ritual that I do now. And I change my nail polish colors. I listen to music, watch a movie or whatever, and just chill out. But that's not the thing that I do every week, but that's one of the things that I do. Sometimes I just flat out take a nap, you know, on my lunch. Part of my lunch is a nap, 10 minutes, half hour if you have an hour, 20 minutes. You'll be surprised at how much that helps you to make it through the day. But anyway, we're at the end of today's session. So this is your homework for today. And I forgot to give you homework the past couple of days because things were crazy and I was getting back in the routine of things. But this is your homework for today. I'm going to put in a self-awareness checklist. I've done this before, and you can go in there and check off the things that you feel you are, and if those things are check off the things that you feel you are. If you don't check off a lot, don't worry about it. If you only check off a few, don't worry about it. If you check off a whole bunch, don't worry about it. It's just a tool to see where your mind is, to help you see where your mind is, to help you see how you think about yourself, and to also, you know, change and refocus you to take care of you and to think good thoughts about yourself, to say good things about yourself, to be good to you. Because when you are and when we're okay, our kids are okay. So we'll come on tomorrow and we will do the R and the R in fear, and we're gonna cover that. What the R in fear is, cover that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go because I'm hungry and I want to eat a little something, something, and set up for tomorrow. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Much love. Hashtag Sing Moms Level Up. I'm gonna drop that sheet into the Facebook group. Um, if you're on YouTube, like I said, you can join the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, by going to Facebook and search the Single Moms Club, and you will find it. You will see this logo here for the cover page. It'll be on the cover page, and that then you'll know that you are in the right spot. So much love to you guys. Thank you for watching live. Thank you for sharing and liking. That is how you win, by contributing, by sharing, liking, and typing in comments about the session or asking questions about things in the session. Because if I could see your questions, then I surely will answer them. Or if you just want to say, hey, I see that too. So yeah, and also with the Single Mom Queen Kit, one last thing. If you've won a Single Mom Queen Kit in the past 90 days, you need to wait 90 days before you can win another one. So if you pop up on the list, then I will go down to the next single mom so that as many single moms as possible can have an opportunity to enjoy a Single Mom Queen Kit, which is a box of good things that I picked up for self-care and self-love that I just want to give to you as a gift for participating in the challenge and participating in the Single Moms Club. So much love. See you guys tomorrow. Day 4. Day 3 is a wrap. Hashtag Single Moms Level Up. Bye. And